Hey everybody, KMO here, and I'm off to another week. It's Tuesday, and I weighed 222 this morning, so I'm going to do the next 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no food. I will eat sometime on Friday, probably starting in the morning with some yogurt, but we'll see how much weight I lose this week compared to last week. Last week I went from 227 to 219. I don't think I'm going to have as dramatic a weight loss this week, but we'll see. Hey everybody. So day 2 of week 2 of fasting. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today is Wednesday. So I weighed in at 218 pounds even this morning. I weigh myself when I first get up after the first pee, and well, that's when I'm on empty. I just weighed myself a little while ago. I'm up to 220 just from drinking water today. I've had no food, just drinking water has got me up 2 pounds. So, what to say about today? I've got a bit of a headache, and I usually drink quarter calf coffee, but I drink coffee every day, and I go through at least a pot, maybe 2. So, you know, I get a couple cups worth of caffeine over the course of the day, but not all at once. And right now, I am out of the decaf coffee, so my options are full strength coffee or none at all, and I've opted for none at all. So I'm in caffeine withdrawal. I did have a cup of green tea, but I didn't do that until the headache had set in, and I guess by that time it was too late. So I'm just going to have a headache today. So it goes. But I don't know if there's any consolation that I can tack onto that. Anyway, 218 today. I finished last week's fast at 217.9, I think, so I'm almost to where I was then. But then the next day I made a big pot of cabbage, potato, and carrot soup. I threw in some corn, and that was supposed to last me 2 days. I ate it all on that first day. I got back up to 225 pounds. And then I ate less on Sunday and Monday, and then starting Tuesday, you know, I was back down to whatever the starting weight was that I showed you. I'll flash it up here. So the gluttonous refeeding is the thing to be avoided. And really, you know, it's kind of like the fast itself. It's just a matter of willpower. I have to decide in advance what I'm going to eat, and once I've eaten it, basically I'm fasting again. You know? So that's the part of it that I intend and resolve to do better this week than I did last week. All right, I'll check in with you again tomorrow. Hey everybody, day 3. Feel weird. I got up at so early that the Amazon Echo, whose wake word name I won't say, won't let me do a meditation with that device before 6 a.m. It only offers me, you know, sleep aid type stuff, sleep casts and things. Because I guess they're in California and it's 2 in the morning in California. Whatever. It works on the phone. So I did my morning meditation a little before 6. Went to the store yesterday and got some decaf coffee. I'm just used to the whole coffee ritual in the morning, and I can't, you know, even if I weren't fasting, full calf coffee, it would have a more pronounced effect on my neurology and my, you know, physiology and my experience than I really am looking for. What I'm looking for is the hot tastes, the liquid. I'm not looking for the zap, you know. Anyway, did I mention my weight? 215 point something. I just looked at it. Like just before the start of the video, I looked at it, and the point whatever is already slipped out of my head. But down 5 pounds since, or no, 10 pounds since Sunday. I guess I'll address a comment now. Somebody wrote, and I'm not going to read the exact comment, but they basically said, look, you fasted before and you've gained the weight back before. You're denying your body a necessary function. you're doing damage to your body by fasting. Well, here, let me show you a picture. This is a picture of me from about a year ago. I was working out a lot then. I'm not working out now because my gym has gone out of business because of COVID. I would be there. I would definitely still be working out were it not for that. I have some weights here in the house, and I've got some other workout equipment, which I use sporadically, but I don't, like, I'm here in my apartment all day. This is my office, this is my gym, this is the place where I live when I'm in my off hours, and it's just helpful to have a different place to go to work out, and a different place to go to do work. That's what I was really hoping for when I was talking about moving to Puerto Rico, was, I could, the $700 that I pay for this apartment here in Vermont, I could get a smaller apartment in the city, in San Juan, and also rent space at a co-working facility, which would also handle my internet. And it would be, I was thinking that I would only have internet while I'm at the co-working space, but of course I still have my phone. So, that's going to require some kind of self-control. I've slipped into spending way too much time looking at my phone. It's so easy to do, isn't it? Anyway, back to the criticism of, hey, you fasted before and lost weight, and then you stopped fasting and you gained weight. The implication, although it wasn't stated, was if the change isn't permanent and if it requires an ongoing commitment, then it's not worth doing. But I can't accept that working out wasn't worth doing. And I think that the person who made that comment I think they would say that, yeah, exercise is beneficial. But if you stop doing it, the benefits go away. If you stop fasting regularly, the benefits of fasting fade away. So, the idea that because doing it once didn't change my body shape forever, that it wasn't worth doing, that just doesn't follow. I don't even see how you can think it follows. There's got to be something else you're holding back. Something else about fasting that you haven't said, because what you've said just doesn't hold together. So, rather than writing a new comment, I would encourage you just to think about it, just to ask yourself, why would I make such a comment to KMO or anybody, who's making an effort to improve themselves? Why would I post discouraging remarks like that? And what is it about fasting that really, pushes me over the edge to where I wouldn't criticize somebody, say, for working out? Like, I've never gotten any criticism from this person for going to the gym. But, the response that I typed was, look, eating, yeah, clearly, is a metabolic necessity. At some point you must eat. But eating 3 times a day, 3 full meals a day with snacks in between, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, never taking any break from that routine. We're not evolved for that. Our bodies are not evolved to do that. We're hunter-gatherers who, in places, away from the equator, there were seasons that we had to adapt to. There were times of plenty. There were times of hardship. Our bodies are adapted to going long periods without food. And when we're not eating, that metabolic energy that we are constantly having to direct, that our bodies are constantly directing to digestion, gets freed up for other purposes. Now, I haven't looked up anything, I don't have any stats at the ready, but you've surely heard that caloric restriction is associated with increased lifespan. And I suspect that's part of the reason why. That the constant having to digest, always digesting food, 24/7, as soon as your body is anywhere close to digesting the last meal, time for a snack, time for another meal. Going to bed in 2 hours, let's eat a big meal. Let's go out to a bar, let's drink a bunch of alcohol, and let's eat a bunch of food, even though we had dinner a couple hours ago. Let's come home with like 2,000, 2,500 calories in our stomachs, freshly put there, and lie down and go to sleep. Our bodies are not evolved to adapt to that. Now, maybe we'll get there. this body won't get there. So what I've discovered over the course of the last 10 years is that caloric restriction and periods of not eating produce beneficial changes that I appreciate. So, I intend to continue. Okay. Well, I didn't plan to speak this long because there's one more day to this. I mean, the one more day is today. Tomorrow morning I break my fast. I walked to the store yesterday, have my cup of yogurt at the ready. I will fortify it with psyllium husks and flaxseed, ground flaxseed. And then around 11:15, I'm going to walk on down to the drop-in center and do the daily food lottery. What will they have? I never know in advance. It's kind of like pulling the lever on a slot machine. Are you going to like the results or are you not? I mean, I'm hungry and I'm going to eat the results, whatever it is. It's a nice portion control, though. I mean, they ask me when I go down there, how many are you picking up? I could say 2 if I wanted to and have double portions, but I don't. So, I walk down. It's like 3,500 steps there and back for the one portion. I don't know what it's going to be. Now, I can pick up other stuff while I'm down there. They have stuff sitting out. There's always bread, always like baguettes and loaves of nice bread. Bread that yesterday was on sale at the tourist shop for $8 is now free down at the drop-in center. That requires constant vigilance. And of course, the donuts. There's always donuts. So easy to think, just today. It's a special treat, just once. Well, I did it yesterday, though, didn't I? Well, just twice. It's not a habit. I'm not forming a habit. This is a one-time thing. It's just a one-time thing that I did yesterday, and I might do again tomorrow. So anyway, collapse. Yeah, the monetary system is messed up. I hear people talking about how people don't want to work because they've gotten used to just sitting home with the stimmy checks. I didn't get any stimmy checks because I didn't lose any work. Actually, I did get one. I got one. Part of one, anyway. The IRS took a portion of it back, but it was nice and it came at a good time. But I know that corporations, they prefer to headhunt. They don't like to hire unemployed people. People who have not been getting up and showering and shaving and driving to work and doing that whole thing for any length of time whatsoever suddenly become unattractive to employers. So, yeah, I mean, as much as it rankles me to hear people say that, because I know they're in their minds, they're saying that in order to justify the hardship, the economic hardship that people will endure. But the economic hardship has kind of been decoupled from physical hardship. It's more of a shame thing now. It's like, I don't have money for groceries. But I can walk on down to the drop-in center every day and get food. And I'm still, having to take action, take deliberate action not to put on weight. There's no danger of me starving to death in this system. There's just a danger of, for men, particularly middle-aged men, of dying from, I'm not sure exactly what the mechanism is, but men who have status and then lose it, they tend to go downhill and die quickly. Either suicide, or they drink themselves to death, or they get sick. But if you've had status and then you lose status, you're done. Nature is not interested in you anymore. You have been programmed to auto self-destruct. And I lost status very early. I'm spending most of my life in the post-status era. And in some ways, I imagine. I picture myself as being lucky. Collapsing early and avoiding the rush and all that. But, the people who say that, collapse early and avoid the rush, they're not talking, I mean, some of them are sophisticated enough, they are talking about the psychological aspects of collapse. Collapse as a psychological event, not collapse as this cascading failure of critical infrastructure. That's a fantasy. That is just a romantic fantasy that, the powerful will be made powerless, and that's not going to happen. The powerful will be fine. They will have their nice suits. If they want to, they will appear on television. The smart ones don't. They will have respect. Okay, this is a long rant. It is better suited to a podcast, and I am going to put out a podcast today. So, those of you who are C-Rome Vault subscribers, you'll get the continuation of this in a bit. But day 3 of a 3-day fast. But it's weird because, Friday is day 4. I'm going to eat on Friday, but the finish line is on Friday. It's not today. So even though it's only 3 full days of not eating, the 3rd day is not the last day. It kind of messes with my head. Because even though physically I don't feel remotely hungry, I'm really looking forward to popping open the container that I get at the drop-in center tomorrow and seeing what food is waiting for me. I'll be thinking about it periodically all day. Okay, what is this, 13 minutes? This is not what I had intended. Anyway, one more segment to this video. It begins from your perspective right now. All right, it is Friday, end of another week, and I lost 10 pounds. So final weigh-in was 214 even, only down 1 pound and 2/10 from yesterday. So that's the thing about these fasts. You start off losing a lot of weight, and then your body says, oh, no food coming in? All right, well, let's lock everything down and conserve those calories, and it happens consistently. So that's why I'm dissuaded from ever doing like another 10-day fast. That was, the last couple days was miserable, and I wasn't losing much weight. In fact, the last time, I've only done a 10-day fast once, and on the 10-day fast, I lost 0 pounds on the last day. I was really hoping to get down below 200. And the last day I weighed in, the second to the last day I weighed in at 200 pounds even, and then the last day I weighed in again at 200 pounds even. How that happens, I don't know. But, the body can run on very few calories, seemingly. Anyway, get to eat today. It's raining. It's raining consistently. It's not like, intermittent rain. It's been raining all day. I was thinking of going down to the drop-in center for breakfast and lunch, but that's not going to happen. I'll go for lunch. Got up this morning and I watched The Bad Batch. Not going to cross the streams here by, talking about media that most of you probably don't watch, but The Bad Batch is Dave Filoni, animated Star Wars, excellent stuff. Better than The Mandalorian from my perspective, because it's building on, the work that Filoni and his crew have been doing for a decade now with Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. So I didn't think that this particular concept was a good choice when they first announced it, and now I just love it. My Fridays are, I get up, weigh myself, record the results, meditate, get a cup of coffee, sit down, and I watch The Bad Batch, the new episode. All right, well, I'm about to have a cup of yogurt now. It'll be my first food since Monday afternoon, actually. All right, so this is supposed to be my first bite that I take here on camera, but I took one as soon as I mixed in the psyllium husks and the flaxseed. So this is my second bite. So just like last week, yogurt mixed with psyllium husks and flaxseed, ground flaxseed. So, a few days ago, Rose sent me some pictures of me that I had sent to her when we first started talking. And they weren't, unrepresentative. I mean, they were just snapshots of me that I took, just at arm's length. And this is when I was still working out. So, this was my face a little less than a year ago. And since then, gained weight, stopped working out, and, the flesh on my face has sagged considerably. So, got to get back into a gym. I would very much like for it to be the same gym I had before, because it's right across the parking lot. And it's the only gym in town that has, a lot of free weights and a lot of serious weight training equipment. Everything else here is, it's women's workout stuff. I mean, nothing personal, ladies, but, you do different stuff than men do, particularly, middle-aged men like me. There's nothing like weightlifting. There's no return on investment like weightlifting in terms of reshaping your body. I was noticing as I was mixing in the psyllium husks and flaxseed that I still don't feel hungry. I think maybe on the second day my stomach did that little empty stomach gurgle thing, but not since then. It's really weird. I mean, this is pure limbic hunger, and apologies for those who already understand the difference, but the, I forget his name, the doctor who came up with the Fast 5 diet, which is basically you eat in a 5-hour window each day and then you fast the other 19 hours. He distinguishes between two types of hunger, limbic hunger and somatic hunger. Limbic hunger is the desire to eat it is based on the anticipation of the pleasure of eating. And we experience that all the time. In fact, if we're on a 3 meal a day schedule, our body knows when the next meal is coming up, and as that time approaches, you get this sensation, this anticipation of the pleasure of eating. And that's what we in the West, who worry about getting fat, call hunger. To feel the other type of hunger, somatic hunger, which is the genuine lack of sustenance, and that your body is starting to catabolize parts of it other than fat, that hunger is a very different sensation. And I've only felt it a couple times in my life on long fasts. Most people living in the United States will never feel hunger. Unless, of course, you're a collapsnik and you think everybody's going to be eating rats and turning to cannibalism and stuff. But people in North Korea, they know what real hunger feels like. We don't know what real hunger feels like. So, somatic hunger goes away. You feel it. I feel it anyway. I can't speak for you. I feel it on the first day of my fast. On the second day of the fast, I'm kind of fidgety. On the third day, it's all good. But then, by that time, the weight loss is basically slowed to a crawl. So now I'm going to stop. I'm going to eat for the next 4 days and try to get in a lot of really, strenuous exercise in the next 4 days, because fasting and exercise, they don't go together. I mean, walking is good, maybe some yoga, but not a lot of push-ups or squats or, things that are you could faint. It's not a good thing to pass out when you're by yourself, particularly. Lots of corners in this place to hit my head on as I go down, so. All right, I'm not going to jabber. I will include my lunch, but we're basically done. All right, welcome to the drop-in center for food. All right, I am back from the drop-in center. I'm wearing my REI brand. Where is it? I thought it had a logo. Anyway, this is the REI knockoff of, I guess, the North Face rain shell. I got it in 1999 in Seattle as I was preparing for my first trip to the Peruvian Amazon. And it has Velcro at the cuffs. The Velcro still works. The Gore-Tex has given up the ghost. It doesn't work anymore. It's 20 minutes out in the rain and this thing's soaked through. So what's the lifespan of one of these Gore-Tex rain shells? About 20 years. All right, I'm back. I'm dried off. Honesty up front. I got this gluten-free donut. It's 47 grams of carbs, 300 calories, no sprinkles, no frosting, no glaze. This is for dipping in coffee only. It's not that appealing, but my only other option for donuts was to take a box of 12 I didn't need all those carbs, particularly given that I'm coming home with Heidelberg Bread Company seeded Jewish rye. Could not resist. They had a few of their breakfasts sitting out. This one went in my backpack, so it didn't stay upright, but it's scrambled eggs, looks like potatoes, some old and soggy and not very appealing whole wheat bread. Always get styrofoam and plastic cutlery. What much to do about that? The Jamaican Jules meal. This is the restaurant prepared. It is red belly sweet potato mixed green salad beef provided by Leaping Bear Farm. Prepared 6/1/21, good until 7/4/21. That would be the 4th of July. And then the prepared meal for today. What is that? Like beef stroganoff over potatoes? That's what it looks like. Some broccoli, some green salad. Alrighty. Thank you to the good people who work at and who support the Our Friends, or Our Place drop-in center. All right. Well, it is time for me to eat. For real. So far I've just had that cup of yogurt today and a little bit of half and half in my coffee. Now for real. Talk to you soon.